The wind whipped through the emerald hills of County Mayo on March 16, 2025, tugging at Andy Sullivan's graying hair as he stood at the edge of a crumbling stone wall, staring down a valley where a faint rainbow shimmered against a brooding sky. At 58, Andy was a man of weathered edges. Once a Boston firefighter, now retired to his ancestral Irish roots, chasing peace after decades of smoke and sirens. His boots sank into the damp sod as he clutched a crackling walkie-talkie, his brother Steve's voice buzzing through, "Come in, Andy. Did you find it?" Andy's breath caught. The rainbow's end danced just beyond a gnarled oak, promising the pot of gold Steve swore would get us out of here, out of the debts piling up since their pub in Galway faltered. But as Andy stepped closer, a chill snaked up his spine. The air thickened, the colors darkened, and a shadow flickered, small, green, watching. "It's creepy here," he muttered into the device. Steve's laugh crackled back. "Quit being a baby and find that gold." Then static swallowed the line, and a low, eerie giggle echoed from the mist. Andy froze, heart pounding. This wasn't just a treasure hunt. Something ancient guarded the rainbow's end, and by St. Patrick's Day dawn, he'd either claim the prize or lose more than gold to a secret older than Ireland itself. Andy Sullivan's life was a patchwork of grit and green. Born in South Boston in 1967 to Irish immigrants, he'd grown up on tales of St. Patrick, snakes banished, shamrocks blessed, told by his mother over corned beef and cabbage every March 17th. Firefighting ran in the family. His father had battled blazes in the 70s, and Andy followed, hauling hoses until a back injury sidelined him at 55. Retirement brought him and Steve, 56, back to Ireland, Galway, where their grandparents hailed from, to open Sullivan's Pub. Steve, a wiry ex-carpenter with a bagpiper's lungs, had big dreams, turn the pub into a tourist trap with Irish charm. But inflation and a wet summer sank them, leaving a ledger red with debt. "Follow the rainbow," Steve had said yesterday, half drunk on Guinness, citing a St. Patrick's Day yarn about Leprechaun gold. Andy scoffed until he saw it this morning, a dark arc bending toward the hills, and felt a pull he couldn't shake. Steve waited back at the pub, nursing a pint, his kilted legs stretched across a stool. A self-taught bagpiper he'd mastered, Danny Boy and the Irish Rover, playing for tips when the till ran dry. "It's our ticket out," he'd insisted, shoving the walkie-talkie at Andy. "St. Paddy's luck, brother. Go." Andy, ever the skeptic, agreed, half for Steve, half for the ghosts of their parents whispering of Irish magic. Now, as he trudged through the valley, the rainbow's end seemed to shift, teasing him past the oak into a hollow where the air hummed with something alive. "Steve, I hear something," he radioed, voice tight. Static hissed, then, "Forgot to tell you, the treasure's guarded by a leprechaun, maybe." Andy snorted. "What, a frog in a hat?" Steve's reply garbled. "No, a lep. Your leg's gone?" "A band name," Andy muttered, shaking his head. The giggle came again, closer. He stopped, squinting. A figure darted behind a boulder, small, green-clad, quick as a hare. "Steve," he called, but the walkie crackled dead. Andy's firefighter instincts kicked in. Assess, advance, survive. He crept forward, the rainbow's end now a muddy patch ringed by shamrocks, their 3 leaves glinting wet. No pot, no gold, just a hole, fist-sized, burrowed into the earth. Then it moved. A head popped up, red-bearded, eyes glinting gold. "Top of the morning, Sullivan," it chirped, voice like a rusty hinge. Andy stumbled back. "Steve, you bastard, is that you?" The figure leapt out, 3 feet tall in a tattered green coat, red cap askew. "Not Steve, lad. Name's Rory, last of the leprechauns round these parts, and you're trespassing." Andy's jaw dropped. Leprechauns. Fairy tales his nan spun over tea. Real. "Where's the gold?" he demanded, voice hoarse. Rory cackled, twirling a shillelagh. "Gold's gone. Traded it for something better centuries back. But there's a prize if you dare." Andy's eyes narrowed. "What prize?" Rory grinned, teeth sharp. "St. Patrick's secret, buried here since 460. Find it, keep it, fail, and ye stay." "Stay?" "Aye, me new guard, till next St. Paddy's Andy clutched the walkie static mocking him. Steve, get out here." No reply. Rory tapped the hole. "In you go, big man. Clock's tickin'. Dawn's the deadline." The hole widened as Andy knelt, a tunnel sloping into darkness, damp earth brushing his shoulders. He'd crawled through worse, collapsed roofs, smoke-choked attics, but this felt different. Alive. His flashlight flickered, revealing roots twisted like veins, then a chamber 10 feet wide, walls carved with shamrocks and crosses. At its center sat a wooden chest, iron-banded, a 3-leafed lock gleaming green. Rory perched on a rock, watching. "Open it, Sullivan. Prove your Irish blood." Andy's hands shook. His mother's tales of St. Patrick flooded back. A British boy, enslaved at 16 by Irish raiders, escaping to convert a nation with a shamrock's truth. Was this his stash? He traced the lock, 3 slots like leaves. "A key?" Rory smirked. "You've got it. Think like Patrick." Andy's mind raced. Holy Trinity, Father, Son, Holy Spirit. He pulled a pocket knife, carved a crude shamrock from a stick, and pressed it in. Nothing. Rory laughed. "Not that easy, lad." Andy sat back, sweat beading. His father's old lighter, engraved with a Celtic cross, clinked in his pocket. 3 flames? He flicked it, held it to the lock. A click, then 2 more. 3 sparks, 3 leaves. The chest creaked open, revealing a leather pouch, heavy, and a parchment, brittle with age. The pouch clinked, gold coins not modern but ancient, stamped with crosses and runes. The parchment in Latin bore Patrick's name. "To my kin, the faith I sowed. Guard it or lose all." Andy's breath hitched. Patrick's hoard, hidden from raiders, a missionary's bribe turned legend. Rory clapped. "Well done, Sullivan. It's yours, if you leave now." Andy pocketed the pouch, but footsteps echoed. Steve, kilt swishing, bagpipes underarm, eyes wide. "Andy, what the hell?" "Found it," Andy said, holding up the gold. Steve gaped. "That's real." Rory's grin faded. "Two of you? Changes the game." Dawn neared, the sky graying. Rory's voice darkened. "One keeps the gold, one stays. Patrick's rule." Andy froze. "No deal." Steve gripped his pipes. "We're brothers, you we get?" Rory's eyes flashed. "Then fight for it. Winner walks." Andy lunged, tackling Rory, who vanished in a puff of green smoke, reappearing atop the chest. "Magic, lads. You can't win that way." Steve swung his pipes, a wild wee blaring, but Rory dodged, cackling. "Time's up." The chamber rumbled, walls closing. Andy grabbed Steve, shoving the pouch at him. "Run!" They scrambled up the tunnel, earth collapsing, Rory's laugh fading. They burst out as the sun crested, the whole ceiling behind. The rainbow was gone, the valley still. Steve clutched the gold, panting. "What was that?" Andy wiped mud from his face. "St. Patrick's luck and curse." Back at the pub, they counted 50 coins, enough to save the business, maybe more. Steve played the Irish Rover, locals cheering, green beer flowing. Andy kept the parchment, a secret for another day. One shamrock changed the game. This tale proves that roots outlast every storm. If Andy and Steve's quest stirred you, drop a like to cheer it. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications for more stories that dig up the green. What would you chase to claim your luck? Share your spark in the comments below. We're all listening. Until next time, hold this close. True Irish heart shines beyond the rainbow.